I don't care where you're hiding in the universe, reboots will find you. Miley Stewart isn't the only one with a secret. Some random people on the internet think they could preach about the Hannah Montana revival when really, is it actually happening? I found a lot of information that really shocked me. And if you guys are fans of Hannah Montana, I definitely think it's worth listening to. So sit down and buckle up, because I'm driving this car and I don't even have a license. I do in real life, but in the metaphor I don't. Isn't that kind of crazy? Okay, so I've been reporting on Hannah Montana for a long time now. It started about a year ago when I did my first Hannah Montana retrospective, going over every episode in the first season. Then I got to the second, third, and recently finished the fourth. I was so happy rewatching the show because it was just much more superior to any other show I feel like I've seen, even including Drake and Josh and iCarly. Like, there's just something about it that works, not only chemistry, but the plot lines, the cultural relevance. There's just so much about Hannah Montana that till this day is very impressive. One of the things that's always made it unique is its parallel to reality, and that's kind of what's going on right here, right now. Not sure if you guys saw my thumbnail, but there's been like a trailer going around. It's this gold-encrusted Hannah Montana 20th anniversary, and I've been looking at a lot of reboots. There's been a lot of reboots recently. There's Wizards Beyond Waverly Place. There's Fairly Odd Parents. Reboots know no bounds. I don't care where you're hiding in the universe, reboots will find you. Or revivals. I guess the difference is the revivals are taking from where the main series left off without changing anything, and reboots are changing everything, or changing the roots of the show. But why does that definition matter? It doesn't, because it's not happening, unfortunately. Don't get my hopes up, because Hannah Montana is one of my favorite franchises. But I do know exactly kind of where this whole idea stemmed from. A couple weeks ago, there was this survey going around for Miley Cyrus's new album. Not sure if you guys heard it yet. Something Beautiful by Miley Cyrus was released pretty recently. And apparently it's her most honest album, something that she cares about a lot. I watched a couple podcasts, and she even talks about how she didn't have to have many limitations when it came to this. Like, this is her true passion piece. And as somebody who makes musicals, I really vibe with that. You know, like, when I made Authenticity, like, that was something I felt like I made for more of a mainstream audience. But then I got to delve deeper and actually come up with concepts that I felt were more representative of me, as opposed to making the audiences happy or making something with massive appeal. And the thing I admire about Miley Cyrus is, even though it's kind of like a passion piece, it definitely works for mainstream. One of my favorite singles has been Easy Lover. It is like one of the best songs I feel like I've ever heard. It's got modern Michael Jackson vibes mixed with Hannah Montana all over the place. I really feel like you have to give this song a listen. Combined with that, Miley teamed up with Disney Plus to turn Something Beautiful into somewhat of a film on Disney Plus, which is really exciting for her. I'm so happy she did that. A part of me is feeling bad for being a 2000s nostalgia fan, because the cool thing about looking back on nostalgia is that you kind of get taken out of today. And you forget, like, what's going on in the world around you. And for people like Miley Cyrus, Miranda Cosgrove, people that have been involved in these reboots, that definitely shadows over what they're currently doing. Like, imagine if people only watched my old videos, only the ones I never really edited, and all my most recent videos weren't getting anything. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of sad to think that. And while Miley did a great job in her Hannah Montana years, like Hannah Montana, best show of all time, I will stand by it for eternity, has moved on. Like, that was 20 years ago, and she's doing something that has to be a bigger depth jump than Hannah Montana. Why? Because it's been time. Time has passed. It can only get better. And even though the quality might not feel better for you, like, imagine the artist and, like, how they've developed. Like, Hannah Montana couldn't have pieces of current Miley Cyrus, but current Miley Cyrus can have pieces of Hannah Montana, and it adds a layer of depth that I don't think we would get on anything else. I'm getting off track, though. There's been, like, a lot of insecurity when it comes to this on this new album, where it's like, people just want her to do Hannah Montana, so she kind of has to work a little bit harder to scrub the perception, the reality of it all. Because really, the people that support her the most will be the Hannah Montana fans, like me, or you, or the people that like the show. So if we really want to support her, we definitely have to check out this new album. And I feel like due to the lack of people seeing it as much as her other stuff, or like even something not getting as intense as Party in the USA, will always kind of foreshadow it in the public's eye. But there was a survey recently given out to apparently the Miley Cyrus fans about Hannah Montana, and this may or may not have been a rumor. I actually didn't really get to look into that specifically. All I know is like that is what has been spiraling about Hannah Montana. Like, we don't usually talk about Hannah Montana outside of its run. Nostalgia fans definitely do, but the public doesn't really get into Hannah Montana or any of that stuff a lot. You know, not only that, there's just been a lot going on with Miley Cyrus, like the whole Flowers single. Everything is pretty relevant for her right now, so it's like we don't really need to go back to Hannah Montana. So that's why there's these people online that are itching to find some kind of story that is talking about a revival, talking about a reboot, talking about just something going on. And it's been 20 years since Hannah Montana came out, you know, like there's a 20-year anniversary, but it seems like Miley is more focused on her own music because it represents her. I notice a lot of instances where we're seeing articles pop up about Hannah Montana and like how it's relevant to her new album, because that's the way it needs to survive. You know, like the only way she can really market this new amazing work that she has is by clinging to this old nostalgia and the people that really have always supported her. And it's important. Like, it's been coming up a lot more often. She's been mentioning Hannah Montana a lot more just so she can kind of get more eyes on this new product. And I can completely relate. Like, I make a bunch of YouTube videos and plug in my own creative materials just to get attention. I know it. I'm the expert of it. And I don't know. I feel like just because of how many revivals we've had lately and reboots, of course we're going to believe that anything could be revived and rebooted. However, there's some things that like are focused only on clout, and some people that only want to talk about the clout. And I really feel like that's what's going on here. Like, this picture, the thumbnail of this video really got me hyped. Like, I was so excited to think that Hannah Montana could be getting a 20-year anniversary. And it really fooled me for probably 40 minutes. Maybe 25. 15, that's my final offer. Yeah, I was fooled for 15 minutes, and I was really hyped. I was like, oh, okay, like, I don't know what this is being revived, but like, even if it's one album, even if it's a single concert, which has been the idea floating around, anything that's referencing the show is something I definitely want to be a part of. However, like, my whole YouTube channel, like, even though it's being about nostalgia and how nostalgia works, I definitely don't think we should be looking away from the current times. You know, like, things are being created in front of us better than ever. And for some reason, it's only old things that make headlines like this. Because people like me fall for it. And I definitely fell for it. Like, look at it. It's like Hannah Montana's wig on a prop, and just the fact it's all gold like gives me reminiscent vibes of Hannah Montana Forever, but also something that hasn't been out yet, like something more modern. Whoever created this image definitely knew what they were doing because they appealed to nostalgia fans and they made it feel modern at the same time. And I really want it to happen. I really hope it's true, but I know it's not. I really hoped it was true, but like, I know it's not. Because upon further research, this image was made by just a fan, like somebody online that just has some digital art skills that was able to make something that triggered nostalgia fans to believe that this is possible. And I definitely think it is possible. Like, the surveys that Miley had sent out after Something Beautiful, the album, and doing Something Beautiful, the film that is on Disney Plus, is the kind of centerpiece for all these rumors. And it's important to have these rumors because it genuinely does get these new works hyped. Like, Something Beautiful is worth being hyped, it needs to be hyped, but we're getting too lost in the sauce here and not realizing that just because it's possible, just because everybody wants it, doesn't mean it's going to be happening super soon. And, I mean, I really want it to happen super soon, obviously, but I do feel like when I listened to Something Beautiful that I'm like, don't mix Hannah Montana with this because it's good on its own. And just because that's the only way things can get seen now doesn't mean it should be. I don't know, I just keep thinking about, like, you know, a modern Hannah Montana, like what it would look like, the wig being slightly more mature, Miley spinning all the song's lyrics and melodies to kind of be more modern. Like, that would be a dream come true for me. Disney would definitely support it because they gave her, like, the Hall of Fame award for all of her contributions, which is insane because she did so much. And Disney and her had a really complicated relationship where Disney, you know, wanted her to be this perfect image. When she wanted to split off into her own image, they actually hesitated with her a lot. And now it seems like the culture has come around and they're supporting her in everything she does. So it's weird to think that, yeah, Hannah Montana definitely could come back anytime, anywhere, anyhow, but is it meant to? Miley really wants all of her attention on something beautiful, and I feel like as fans, if we just like kind of work with what she's giving us and enjoy the moment, as opposed to jumping ahead and trying to get a reboot, getting this old thing redone, you know, like, it's time to appreciate what we have right in front of us for what it is, because in 20 years from now, we're going to be nostalgic for this, and I don't think we're going to be as reminiscent about, wow, it was because Hannah Montana led to this. Like, sure, we'll be Montana, but it can't take us out of present day the way it has been. And as excited as I am about this new image surfacing, this fake trailer, revealing Disney Plus possibly taking on a Hannah Montana revival, I really gotta put a pin in it and say that this is not happening. I really want to be proved wrong, and I would love the traction to be driven to my videos, because I would have so much to gain by other people finding my videos about Hannah Montana. But I feel like it's more about the cultural relevance of right now. And even though I'm this nostalgia channel that cares a lot about rehashing the old stuff, it still is just as important to me that we focus on the art of the time, because today is something that will never be recreated. It's something we thought back then, and it's something we go into the mentality of believing now. In 2006, 2007, I wasn't thinking like, wow, Hannah Montana, this is the best show ever. I was thinking, wow, I wish they would bring back, you know, SpongeBob, or I wish they would bring back whatever shows ended in the 2000s. You know, like we never want what's right in front of us. But sometimes we have to look at that and be like, maybe we do want what's right in front of us. Because I'm looking back at everything I've done, and it makes me a lot more appreciative of the current things going on. So if you guys are jumping into the nostalgia train, enjoy it. You know, like, remember what it is, but then remember that it is just a cycle of the future. It's something that is inevitable, something that will always happen, and that if we keep trying to rehash old things or get ready for new things, we're always going to forget about the present, where things actually matter. And it's not against Hannah Montana, it's more just like, if we appreciated it in that way when it was coming out, maybe we would have dove into it a little bit quicker, a little bit better, and that's what we need to be doing right now. So yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying, you know, my videos. I've been working really hard to get as many out as possible, just because my views get a lot lower, and I have so many ideas, so I just like to hire like 5 editors, make 5 ideas a day, and then just see kind of what comes of it. And I really appreciate your guys' patience on like my errors and all the things that have gone wrong with these videos, like some of the music transitions and stuff. But I really appreciate you guys sticking around for it, because, you know, I really want to turn this into my career. And if I want to keep making my own musicals, I definitely have to keep up with this. And it's not that it's a chore, it's so much fun to do. It's just, you know, I really got to make it work. So here's to Miley Cyrus, here's to Hannah Montana. We're all trying to do the same thing. Whether we realize it or not, time is of the essence. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry if I bummed you out with all of this. Get excited for get excited for the Zoe 101 finale stuff I have coming up, because I'm finally finished that show, and I am so grateful to be done that show. So I'm going to release the final season, the complete series. Like, we'll have a little influx of that, but otherwise, get ready for fall, because we've got some crazy stuff coming at you guys. Thank you guys so much for your support. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. I'm trying to get more into it on there too. It's Johnny2000. Not that hard to remember if you know my channel. Yeah, so have a great day, guys, and I love you guys. You didn't say it back. You're not gonna click on a video before saying it back, are you? Oh, okay, bye.